I first had a panic attack about 9 months ago, something like that. I was driving back from Brighton with my pregnant wife and my young daughter in the car. It was a dark night, it was really raining, really heavy traffic, and all of a sudden I started feeling kind of panicking and thinking that I'm going to pass out or I'm going to crash the car. I thought I was going to kind of die at one point, and if that happened, then obviously the car had crashed and I'd kill all my family in the car. I didn't know what it was at all. Nothing like that has ever happened to me. So it took hours to drive home because I had to get off the motorway. Every time that I started driving again, within a couple of minutes I had to stop because this thing kept coming back and washing over me, and it was really frightening and quite overwhelming. From then on, every time I tried to drive on the motorway, instantly that would happen. So I had to stop driving on the motorway. It meant I couldn't go anywhere with my family in the car. It then started happening to me in other places. So it'd happen at home. I'd start thinking I'm going to die, thinking I'm going to pass out. I'd be on the tube and think I'd have to get off the tube. I think people are going to attack me. I think people were looking at me on the tube. It happened at family gatherings. It happened when I was on a train, just me and my young daughter on a train coming back from Manchester to London. I thought I was going to die and leave my daughter on her own on the train. So it was awful. I didn't know what it was. I'd never experienced anything like that. And because I didn't understand that it was anxiety, I just thought I was going crazy. I didn't want to tell anyone because I was embarrassed about it, because you don't want to tell people the thoughts you're having because it sounds like you're going crazy, or that's what you think it sounds like. And I thought, that's it, I'm just stuck with it for the rest of my life. And that was quite a scary thought. So I'd known Tom for a while. I work for a company in Savile Row where Tom has his suits made, and we've become quite friendly and chatty over the years. And we were just talking, and I happened to mention about my problems driving on the motorway and how it made me feel. And it was by chance. I knew Tom did other things, but it was by chance that I had the opportunity to attend the course. So we organised it for a couple of weeks later, and I went off to the course. And I'm quite a shy person naturally, so I was worried that I'd find it quite difficult sharing my experiences with Tom and talking about what I'd been through. But Tom starts the course by telling you what he's been through and his experiences, which made it a lot easier for me to talk about mine. There was a lot to take in on the course in such a short period. I thought, how can you learn to deal with it in such a short period of time? So I thought it was going to be quite overwhelming with all the information, but I was surprised how I took it all on and how much sense it made. After the course was about 5 or 6 hours. After the course, I got into my car and I drove home. I felt amazing. I drove home the long way round, just really feeling really happy and really confident in the car. And I just wanted to kind of test myself, and I was really enjoying driving. So yeah, I drove the long way home. I did the course on a Sunday, and 2 Saturdays later I drove for 7 hours down to Cornwall with all of my family in the car. And it was one of the best journeys I've ever had. I enjoyed it so much. My anxiety tried to present itself a couple of times, but the tools that Tom gave me on the course to deal with it just kind of killed that anxiety pretty much straight away. And then a week later, obviously, I drove back to London from Cornwall. Again, no problems at all, and I really enjoyed the journey. All my anxiety now is kind of, it sometimes tries to creep back, but I've learned how to deal with it. And also, it's not only anxiety, but it taught me how to deal with other things and kind of live kind of consciously and deal with other things. So yeah, the course completely changed my life, and I've got Tom to thank for that, and I can't really thank him enough.